Now, from the downtown of Northwest Arkansas, in Uptown Rogers, with weather from Bentonville to Fayetteville, Fort Smith, and beyond, here's Oz weather meteorologist, Garrett Lewis.
Hey guys, how's your Saturday going? It is June 29th. We're coming up on the end of the month. Hey, we have thunderstorms that are headed for the area later on tonight. You probably don't know it now, though. It's hot. Understatement, right? The heat index in some of these places are over 110. I'll show you what that looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what's happening now, what happens tonight, and then what happens for next week. There are going to be some thunderstorms tonight. There could be some that are strong to severe. The highest severe weather chances are going to be across Benton County. So that's Bella Vista, Bentonville, Rogers, Pea Ridge, as that front starts to sag to the south. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look outside right now. Looking at hot weather. Look at the wind. At least there's some wind blowing around here and there. You've got a little bit of south winds going on, pushing up that heat, humidity, also that deep moisture. The problem that we're going to have as we head into the evening with these thunderstorms is the slow movement as well as heavy rain rates because of the tropical nature of these storms. It's very sticky outside. The good news is we'll be on the flip side of the front tomorrow. I think we'll still be dealing with scattered showers early in the day, but for the second half of the day, we may see highs that are in like the upper 80s and low 90s, which is a big difference from those upper 90s to near 100 degrees where we are right now. Now, you can see the front if you look real close on radar. It's this little thin line. I turned on the radar out there in Wichita. You can see it right there, and let me see if I can pull it up for you a little bit better. Right in here, see a little line there. So that front's going to be squeezing to the south. You can also see how it's got a little bit of some spotty showers, which are already trying to develop in southeastern Kansas, which will eventually track towards Bentonville and Fayetteville later on tonight. It's all because of this. This is the surface chart. You can see the front. The area of low pressure is across the Boot Hill in Missouri. This whole front sags south. The problem is in the summertime, these fronts run into the high pressure. They don't make a lot of progress. So you end up with slow moving storms. The one thing I am a little more concerned about today is how much instability we have with all this heat. So I think when these things go up, especially late evening, there's going to be some downburst winds. That's cold air sinking through that warm air. So we have the warm air in place. You get the cold air at the top of the storm. It all sinks down to the ground and could cause some locally damaging winds. Something to watch. There is some instability that's out there. So where are we right now? Oh my gosh. Ugh. It's hot, y'all. I don't think I have to say that. You already know. But I'll zoom in. We'll take a closer look at it. One more thing I want to show you, too, is you can see the boundary there with those cumulus clouds. Starting to get some of those cumulus congestus out there, right? So those are those puffy white clouds that eventually give way to thunderstorms. You can see them out here across southeast Kansas with that storm. The other thing to note, so it's 95 right now out in Springdale, 96 in Fayetteville. Flip side of the front, it's in the mid-80s. So this is the cooler air that's coming in later on tonight. So 96 in Rogers. It's also 96 in Fort Smith. Let's play with the dew point. What's the dew point? This is a measure of how sticky the air is. Mid and upper 70 dew points, like out in Muskogee. This is horrible. It's more swamp-like there. The dew points in Bentonville and Rogers are right around 70. The dew point in Fort Smith is 73. What happens during the afternoon hours is there's drier air in the middle of the atmosphere. The sun warms the ground. It taps into it. It actually mixes some of that drier air down. All this is all relative. So the dew point's actually highest in the morning and then comes down in the afternoon. It doesn't make it feel any less sticky, though. It feels horrible out there. Matter of fact, let's go back to it, and I'm going to show you what the heat index is across the region. So we'll click on the heat index and take a look at this. Holy mackerel. The hottest spot right now looks like Springdale at 113 degrees. Feels like 103 in Rogers, 102 in Fayetteville. Fort Smith feels like 106. Remember out around Muskogee? Feels like 109, 111 in Tulsa. That's where that higher dew point is. I don't know if that's right or wrong in Claremore. It's showing 124. Let's see what the dew point is. If the dew point's 84, that's probably what it is. That dew point seems a little bit on the on the high side, even for this deep tropical moisture that's out there. But that front that's to the north is what's going to be swinging through later on tonight. So we talked about the front. This is what the surface chart looks like. The severe weather risk is going to be there across the northern tier of the area as it starts to move in. A wider view shows what's happening here with that whole system. So I want to start wide here and looping this just so you can make out that high pressure ridge. This is what we've been talking about the last several days. So it spins clockwise. This front's moving into that high pressure ridge and it's slamming up against it. That's why it's not making much progress. And that's why as it starts to move in, we're probably going to be dealing with a slow-moving storms that cause some high rainfall rates. The front right now is located right about here, and then it's going to be tracking towards the south later on tonight into the first part of the day for tomorrow. The high pressure ridge has been the dominant weather feature that is going to change later on this evening. So here's how it happens. We'll go hour by hour through this. This is the what are we on here? We're on the North American model. We'll look at that, and then we'll look at the high resolution model data too to get another look at this. So here we are. Here's Fayetteville, Fort Smith. You have the storms just to the north. I can maybe keep the storms in sight for us here. And then as we jog into the evening, why don't we stop the clock at about 7 o'clock tonight? Which is right here. So we have thunderstorms that are underway around Tulsa, at Bartlesville, out around Stillwater. You have some storms too in central Missouri. That's along that front. This is 7 in the evening. We should start seeing that stuff move in after 7 into the overnight. Now, notice the North American model isn't too hot to trot on the rain chances. Let's flip over to the high resolution model data and then go to 7 o'clock tonight, and we'll back up. So it's right in here. You're looking at some thunderstorms out to the north, out around Joplin, heading into the late evening hours. Those storms move towards the south, southeast, and start to track into the area. It's not as widespread for everybody, but there is that chance of seeing showers and storms. And then tomorrow, I think we run into some problems too. This is tomorrow afternoon at about what is this, 3 in the afternoon? You got some scattered showers and storms that are out there as well. So as that front moves in, expect scattered showers and storms to develop later on this evening. You can tell by some of the data that we're looking at here that not everybody's going to see the rain out of this. The latest run actually puts this more towards Oklahoma. Let me look back at the morning run and see what that looked like. I felt like this one had more rain in the area. This is at 8 o'clock tonight. Yeah, see how it moves through from the north. You can see the rain showers there as I back up. It's going to move in along that front. So scattered showers along the front. This is probably more true to what'll happen here. This is close to about 11 midnight tonight in northwest Arkansas. It should fade as it gets closer to the ridge, so I don't think it's going to hold tight enough for everybody to get the rain in Fort Smith, although you can see some showers that move through. This is tomorrow about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning in the Fort Smith area. So they have the slight risk out for the northern part of Arkansas, southern Missouri. The Storm Prediction Center doing this because this is, you saw in the data, as it moves into the high, it should weaken and should start to fall apart the more south it moves. So the higher severe weather chances are going to be out there, Springfield, Missouri, to Joplin, to Tulsa, to Bentonville, to Rogers, even out towards Eureka Springs in that area. So mostly the northwestern part of Arkansas as opposed to west central or even southern Arkansas, where it should start to fade. I'll post all this up on the Oz Weather app. Of course, that's free to download on Android or on Apple. And I'll be with you later on tonight. Should we get some strong storms? I think we probably get a couple of them out there. I don't think everybody gets rain out of it. The cool thing is this time of year, when you get these storms, though, they push out some cooler air simply due to the rain cooled air that's out there. So even if you don't get a thunderstorm in your area, you'll get the outflow boundaries, which will cool things down a little bit, and expect much cooler weather, thankfulully, for Sunday. Of course, we're going to be dealing with more clouds and some spotty showers here and there as well, probably mid-morning into the early afternoon. But I was going to mow today. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow evening. And cross my fingers and hope the grass isn't too wet. I think it's probably going to be dry given the scattered nature of this. But it is hot out there. Please take care of yourself. Temperatures outside are in the mid-90s. That heat index, you saw it. It's in the low 100s out there. We'll see what happens later on this evening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend as we gear up for the big July 4th week coming up next week. I'll catch you next time.